Unknown Armies is something of a game where you are the monster, you are performing the ritual, you are upsetting the status quo. So what you start out with before you know anything else about your character is an objective that the group, the Cabal, is pursuing. Something that you are trying to accomplish or achieve.
The idea that we had before was this thing called the time tumor.
Yeah, like
are we still into that idea?
I like like a place where where time's somehow messed up.
Yeah.
Yes, there's your objective. So, mechanically, you will have a percentage chance of achieving this goal. Right now, your chance of understanding this is a fat 0. All right. We know that what this game is going to be about is figuring out this patch a weird time. Now we need to develop the kinds of people who want to learn that. The first step on that is you notch your unnatural meter. These are gauges of emotional trauma. Usually there's one precipitating event where it's like, okay, before that, everything seemed normal. After that, I have to kind of side-eye everything that purports to be ordinary. So does anyone have an idea for one such event? Go.
So I'm walking into the movies and I look up and there's just this beam of non-light, of nothing, of blackness that cut through the light, which doesn't make sense because physics don't work that way. Light doesn't do that. And it cut like all the way through and up into the clouds, and I watched it and it was like straight and the clouds moved and it didn't move, and like it was just there. So I skipped going to the movie and I went to go find it because this is just the weirdest thing.
So now we're going to find a mathematical expression of how weird that was for your character.
Pretty weird. Pretty weird.
So yeah, if it was a one-time thing, a fluke, then you'd put a few notches in Unnatural. If it changed the way that you view the world so that you started seeing other stuff that other people were kind of brushing under the rug and defying and denying, but you're like, no, just because that doesn't fit in with your worldview doesn't mean it doesn't exist. I've seen the void.
Literally.
Then you might have chased down more of this stuff and have more hardened notches. Mm-hmm. So somewhere between like 3 and 5, maybe.
I'm gonna go for, because it totally changed my characters.
Okay.
Thinking about like how rules work.
So all in with 5?
They don't. So I'm actually gonna go with 4.
All right. Who else has got one? Can you top that? Now we come to a fun part, which is when everybody takes one of their pictures. You've already got one, but I'll let you add another because I'm so nice. We should each add an element and then connect them to a character. It doesn't have to be your own character.
I'm gonna put this up there, and I'm gonna say that that's a self-portrait that my grandfather took. He got a disposable camera and set it up to take this cool photo of himself. And he worked on timepieces.
Okay.
And he raised me. Grew up with my grandfather.
Well, if your granddad made weird watches, then I inherited one from someone in my family that he made.
Is this a watch or is this
It's a timepiece.
So you inherited that, which he constructed.
The layers.
This lovely headline that I think it may be about someone in my wife's family. Arrested drunk Wyoming man claims he time traveled to warn of aliens. I think in this game, though, that was my little brother Ralph. To bail him out again.
All right. I am gonna add this guy?
Ooh, business hipster.
Oh,
Better watch out.
Yeah, I'm worried.
Yeah.
Owns the land.
Owns the land.
Whoa.
on which
Oh,
the
no.
time
Of
course he
timber
does.
sits.
A timeshare baron.
All right. So we now have added these together. We'll be making those webs of connections denser and thicker. But the next step is more personal. Every character in Unknown Armies is obsessed with something. It drives them. It won't let them rest. It's the thing they can't let go and that keeps them awake at night. And it will attach to one of your identities, one of the things you get to roll to make things happen. And it has a very powerful effect on the identity. If it's your obsession identity, and you roll a 92, which is a failure, you can turn that around and make it a 29.
Yeah, I think I'm obsessed with like gadgetry and like Rube Goldberg machines and like weird automation. Like, I love that this happens and that makes the ball roll down the track and then this thing happens and then this thing happens and then my breakfast is made.
So, an identity, something that is not just something you do, but essential to who you are. So, and to spitball based on what I know about your characters, it could be, I am a storm chaser.
Yep.
I am a mechanic. I am a lawyer. But these are just suggestions. I'm just trying to be helpful.
No, I'm probably going with Storm Spotter.
Okay.
I think I'm going a little more down home going, I'm a handyman.
All right.
I'm going to do I'm a hoarder.
All right. So think about some things that, handyman's really obvious. Of course I have an angle grinder. Of course I can
Unclog that sink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a storm chaser. Of course I can lend you a poncho. Of course I have a camera at the ready. So these are mundane identities. If you have weird paranormal identities, the rules are a little different, but fairly straightforward. So each mundane identity substitutes for one of the abilities that derived from this, of which there are 10. So as a hoarder, it sounds like you want that to replace notice.
Yeah, okay, so notice.
Okay, all right. What does storm spotting substitute for pursuit?
Is that what Pursuit does?
Pursuit gets you away from things, but also keeps things from getting away from you. So if you are behind
Pursuit
the
makes
wheel,
sense.
if you are behind the wheel and chasing a twister, you will be rolling pursuit.
Yeah, let's do that.
And so handyman.
I think it substitutes for knowledge. I'm thinking like I know how that thing works. I know how. Yeah.
Write her down. We've got names: Jamie, Candace, and Sway. You're going to relate to each other in one of 5 ways.
So I totally picked CC as my favorite.
Yay.
Okay.
I think CC might be my guru. Okay.
Cool, yeah. Okay, let's both be gurus. Yeah.
All right.
Codependence.
So it's a double-headed guru monster.
Yeah, what's your character's name again? Kirby?
Jamie.
Jamie Kirby.
So the next thing each of us does is link 2 elements that are not currently connected. And as the GM, I'm gonna go first.
Yeah.
So Ralph works for
Ralph works.
literally mustache twirling bad guy.
That's him.
Oh, he's so
I
awful.
hope it's like, no, actually I'm really nice. What's going on?
No, he's clearly a nightmare.
And his name is Ford.
Oh, no.
Really?
Yes,
It's so funny.
Ford.
Ford. I already don't like your hipster ways.
Yeah.
All right, so that's a connection to an unconnected. Someone else want to spackle 2 things together?
The clock is broken, and instead it works like a compass and points to the time tumor.
All right.
I'm going to say that our grandfathers they were contemporaries in competition with each other.
They were Tesla and the other guy.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Sorry, other guy.
Tesla and Edison.
The Rocket Man totally hates Ford. The Rocket Man is not into Ford. Is in fact tells me to do things to him.
Oh, jeez. Are you
Threatens
sure?
Ford.
Not just lost it.
So here's the Cabal. This is you guys.
Happy little Cabal.
Happy little Cabal. What is each player character's relationship to the Cabal? What is it that this group, the three of you, gives to your character that that gives to your characters they can't get otherwise?
Yeah, I threw that in as my favorite. Because I think this is helping me. This is giving my life meaning.
I'm gonna say the Cabal is my responsibility.
See, that's very different. You have a very different relationship to it.
I actually think I'm just going to say mentor.
Okay. Next, what we've got is you're going to notch 2 more meters. And what you can do, pick which 2, and spend up to 10 points. You don't have to spend all 10 if you don't want to, in those meters. So what this means is that if you want to be really densely damaged in one track and get all the ancillary badass ability that comes with that, you're going to have to be fragile, dewy, and innocent in a different track. But yeah, pick your 2 notches. So it sounds like you want to do isolation.
Yeah, I do, and then I pick another one that I'm.
Yeah, and spend 10 points
10
between the 2
total?
of them. Or
Up to 10.
Up to 10. It is not mandatory.
Violence. Much violence, wow.
So you are really laid back about physical trauma. If you see someone with a bone sticking out of their bashed up
Super
arm,
glue.
you're like, that sucks to be you. So now, link to the PC that you are not yet connected to. What is Sway's connection to Jamie and Jamie's connection to Sway?
I think Sway's my responsibility.
And you're my guru also.
Awesome. Guru. I'm going to write it upside down.
I think I'm just going to do favorite too. So we're
okay.
mutual
Best
besties.
buds.
Yeah.
So pick another identity. Something else that defines who your character is.
So I'm going to run this by you because this is maybe not okay. I would like to be an amateur pickup artist.
Okay.
You can say no. This is why I'm bringing it up now.
I think it's okay.
All right.
I don't know.
Everyone at the table's
I'm
okay
good
with
with
this?
Sway being a player. I think
Okay.
that's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm linking this to my Connect.
Yeah.
So I watch a lot of YouTube videos. I'm constantly trying out my skills on people. It's very uncomfortable when I do this because I'm not good at it. I'm an
Yeah, I
amateur.
like that you're not
So
good at it.
you're gonna take the low percentiles.
Yeah.
Nice, nice. Well, that's a legitimate strategy because the way experience works in this is that you get experience checks when you fail. So by failing at stuff,
Yes.
identities get
Fail
stronger.
all the time.
All right.
Well,
And what
I
did you
threw
write?
in, I'm a planner.
A planner.
So yeah, and I want to use that to substitute for fitness. That I've got I've got workarounds for my infirmity.
Oh, okay.
Got a little thing I can pull to open the door. Got a little
So you're probably on this super strict diet where
Yeah.
it's where you've got the calendar.
Exactly. Yeah, and
It's I'm sorry, man, I can't skip kale day.
yeah, because I don't want to have another episode.
Do you have one?
No.
Okay, think about that while I explain the passions.
Okay, great.
Passions are like junior obsessions. You can use each one once per game session to either flip-flop a die roll or get a re-roll. If you get, a 77 as a failure, which is not just a failure, it's like a gross failure. It's a failure where your GM gets to have fun with your character. You could say, no, I get to re-roll it. I'm going to use one of my 3 passions. But your passion, it has to, you earn the re-roll by explaining how it is in keeping with your passion. So, fear is what freaks you out. It's pretty self-explanatory. If I see this, I'm much more likely to just drop what I'm doing and get the hell out of there. Your rage is in some ways the opposite. It's like the thing that you just are like, I gotta Hulk smash this. I'm going to go towards this and in the most direct, horrifying way I can think of, attempt to ruin it. And then the third one is your noble passion, which is you at your best. And the noble passion is the thing you would make great personal sacrifices to protect or correct. You will lose your temper over your rage, and you will lose your courage over your fear, but you will redeem yourself for your anger and cowardice using your noble impulse. So pick some.
Okay.
What have you got? Noble, preservation of beauty.
Under my noble, I did beauty. So continuing this line of being really motivated by aesthetics.
It's all a whole.
Yeah. So beauty. My fear, I just did swamps. Seemed easy. And then I don't know what my rage is.
Think on that. I will get back to you.
Yeah.
I threw
Miles?
my rage is rule breaking.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Damn it, Ralph! I put
Ralph, why can't you just get it together, boy?
I put my fear as stupidity. Like I'm afraid of losing my brain, right?
Okay.
Of not someday not having the answer and not being able to work out that problem.
All right.
Flowers for Algernon style.
Yeah, you got it.
Oh yeah. That freaked me out as a kid.
And noble, I think my noble is holding people together, holding things together.
So, Tay has a problem, hasn't come up with another identity, and we made some suggestions, but there's actually a part in around page 50 of this one where it's just a list of 26 random alphabetical identities for exactly this situation. So pick a letter at random.
W.
Weather forecaster.
What?
Wow.
No
All
way.
right. I'm a weather forecaster.
And suddenly,
Are you serious?
God.
look,
We didn't plan
people,
this.
I think the way that I can fit this into my current character is that I have a YouTube channel, and I do true the weather that the media won't tell you about.
Like contrails?
This is the real weather.
I tell the real weather, and I work in. I'm thinking about how my grandfather was into astrology, and I think I also work in horoscope into the weather.
All right. Not your last 2 meters, because you should have 2 that you haven't dealt with. It's again, same thing. Split 10 points or less between them. Figure out these last elements of your past experience.
Can we put 0? Can we put no points in one of them? Yeah.
Because that's
You
what
just
I'm
have the
also
base
considering.
one. Yeah, do it. It's a healthy choice.
No, I probably should put some in isolation because chasing tornadoes is weird.
What did you fill in?
Oh, I just filled a dot in self because I think that I sometimes lie, just this thing.
Does now and again.
And I think violence. I think even though I'm the older brother, Ralphie used to beat me up.
Yeah.
Doesn't not that we're grown, but
Ralph
left a little mark.
Can I add the violence because I died?
Yeah.
That'll do it.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So we've all done the second set of notches. Yes. Okay. We add more elements. Okay, the cave.
That is underneath the tumor.
Yeah.
So I'm gotta drift this photo a little bit because I got this photo of this kind of looks like a poor village somewhere. I think I want it to just be like a slum or a shanty town though, and I want Ford to own it. I'm gonna be a slumlord.
What a dick.
Yeah, I knew it.
I'm just saying what we all already knew was true, right?
Intuitively. I want to put this there, and I want it to be sideways.
Like that? Or that?
The other way. Like that, and I want to say that it protects Ford.
Oh, yeah.
look at your identities. You've got hoarder, weather forecaster, you've got handyman and planner, you've got storm chaser, and what was the other one?
Amateur pickup artist.
Amateur pickup artist. Does anybody feel the need for a third identity? No, two's plenty. Okay. Split up 120 percentiles between them. You can't have more than 70, I think, and less than 15.
What's it do?
You roll it. You have a 75. You now have a 70% chance of noticing stuff.
Yes.
Substituting for an ability is a feature. So your identities get 3 features. I'm thinking that Hoarder has got to have some kind of protective element to it.
Yeah, I think so too.
So what does the Horde make her feel protected from? And then you just say defends against that. Does it make her feel protected against helplessness? Which, man, it would not be a bad thing to throw something on that, because your status is not very high, and your ability to just shrug those off is not very high. But most importantly, it fits.
Yeah.
So, I'd say defends helplessness.
So would I write that under feature, defends helplessness?
Yeah, feature, defends helplessness.
Yeah, that works.
So, some other things, in addition to substituting for things, what else can it do? You can set it up to coerce a meter. So the way this works is it's like an attack on someone's psyche, where if they don't do what you want, they have to face a check. So this might be a good one for pickup artists, which is I can coerce probably isolation, do you think? It's like, if you don't go off with me, you will feel so alone.
Yeah.
Evaluates a meter, where you can look at someone and say, oh, yeah, he's really... after talking to him for 15 minutes, I can tell that he's a hollowed out shell of a man with a bunch of hard notches in self. He doesn't even know when he's telling the truth anymore.
I threw in
circles.
For handyman. I put that I can sub for lying, because I can. Oh no, that's a problem with your whatever.
Oh yeah, no, I'll totally have that done first week in December.
2 weeks. Yeah.
Easy.
I think it also can coerce helplessness. Was what I was hoping. I could have it be make people feel like they are out of their depth. They could get real technical.
But wait, there's more. Pick one of your identities as the one that your obsession plays into. We talked about this. The one where when you roll it, you get to switch the dice around if you want.
Yeah.
So, count how many hard notches you have in every gauge altogether.
Yeah, it's a hard notch. 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, 7.
How did I never think of that joke?
I was really wondering. I was like, you must have heard this 100 times.
Never.
Really?
Once.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13.
13. Okay. So divide that by 5 and round up. So in your case, it's 3. You need to put 3 failed marks in here. That's not bad.
Yeah. What is that going to do?
If you get up to 5 in a single gauge, you have developed a really bad psychological problem. So, something like, oh, I'm addicted to alcohol now, or something like, I have persistent delusions that the giant Rocket Man statue is talking to me, which, like I said, it's hard to get there. But yeah. You guys are fine. You're stable. You're upstanding members of your community. Totally ready to start.